This is step 3 of the Quiz 3 video lecture. I'm going to carefully guide you through the process of adding data, layers, shapefiles, etc. We're going to add one at a time from the Quiz 3 data folder. We will receive several errors, but we're going to work through those. They are designed to help us. Add tack shapes to the map. And there's a simple question. What layer did you add? The answer is tack shapes. You should not get an error. If you did, clear the error and just try to proceed. I did not, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to zoom to the most recently added layer. Obviously, I get right to it because there's only one layer. If I couldn't see it, I would turn on and off other layers, zoom to determine where the layer ended up. I'm now going to verify that the coordinate system of the most recently added layer, Tacoma Shapes, is the same as it was when we checked it in the data. And it is, of course, the same. NAD 1983, Harn, State Plane South. This looks a little bit different. It's not called current coordinate system that we saw. We were on the right side. Now it is just called, we find it in this data source area of the source tab of layer properties. It still shows the projection and other information. I'm now going to look at the data frame. Previous to this, it was, as we ended step 2, there was no coordinate system. If I look at it now, it is the same coordinate system as the layer that I just added. This is called projecting on the fly. ArcMap projects on the fly when there is no coordinate system and a data layer is added. That coordinate system will stay until you clear the projection. It doesn't change with each new layer unless you clear the projection. I'm going to click OK. We like to clear the projection because we want to look at the data in their native or their original spatial reference. So I'm going to clear and move on to the next step. What is the current coordinate system of the data frame at this point after clearing the projection? The answer is easy, no coordinate system. Moving on. Add Tacoma proper SPH to your map. Find Tacoma proper, drag it in. We don't receive an error. I'm going to zoom and I can see it. I don't have to turn off anything to see the layer. I can still see Tacoma proper. Verify that this coordinate system is the same that it was when we checked it in the catalog. It is NAD 1983, State Plane Harn South. And now let's look at the data frame. The data frame has the same projection as the layer that I most recently added because there was no coordinate system. It is now projected on the fly. I'm going to clear again. No layers disappear when I say OK because they're in the same space. When I clear this, they go back to their original data, their original spatial reference. And then the current coordinate system of the data frame is no coordinate system. That was question 42. I'm now going to add Washington to the map and follow the same process. Although when I drag Washington, it disappears. There was no error, but I need to zoom to the layer to find it. Now I see it. Tacoma proper and Tacoma shapes should be down here. However, Washington is now on top of those layers so we couldn't see them even if they did line up. I'm going to switch to list by drawing order, move Washington to the bottom, and I can see that they did show up. They look stretched, which is a geographic coordinate system phenomena. I'm going to verify that Washington is the same as it was. GCS North American, notice there is no projected coordinate system now. And then when I check the Quiz 3 data frame, the data frame also changed to the GCS North American 1983 because it was no coordinate system and I added Washington to it. Assuming you have not yet cleared the coordinate system, what is the coordinate system? It should be GCS North American 1983. And why is the current coordinate system for the data frame what it is right now? And an easy answer is it's projected on the fly. When I brought in Washington, it went from no coordinate system to the projection on the fly of the next added layer. Following the directions, I should clear the coordinate system of the data frame and click OK. We always clear the data frame after adding layers to ArcMap. Notice that the layers moved. Text shapes and Tacoma proper moved. They are over here and Washington is here. Yet they were just lined up on top of each other. Now that we're not projected on the fly, they're not in the same space. I'm going to try to zoom to the full extent to see them, and Arc cannot show us where Tacoma is in relation to Washington because the coordinate systems are too far apart from each other. The current coordinate system of our data frame is no coordinate system for 47. We'll now add City of Tacoma. I can't see it. I don't get an error, but I don't see it. I'm going to zoom to it. And it's right on top of Tacoma proper. So I can see it. I could try turning off other layers if necessary to see it. But it is there. Verify that the current coordinate system of my most recently added layer coincides with the notes we made in step 2. So in that case, City of Tacoma should match what it was when we checked it on this side, which is NAD 1983 State Plane, Washington South. So that verifies. What is the coordinate system of the City of Tacoma? Right here. NAD 1983 State Plane, Washington South, FIPS 4602 feet. Assume that we have not yet cleared the projection, which I have not. What should be listed for the current coordinate system of the data frame? And without even looking, you should know that it is NAD 1983 State Plane, Washington South, FIPS 4602 feet, because it is projected on the fly. I clear the projection. I'm going to move this out of the way and apply, and Washington disappears again, which is expected because it's in a different coordinate system altogether. And the current coordinate system of the data frame is now no coordinate system. I will now order my layers as listed in the directions: Tacoma proper, City of Tacoma, Tax Shapes, and Washington. I'm going to add MIS shapes, M-A-S-C shapes to the map. So when asked this question, 52, what layer did I add? MIS shapes is what I added. Did I get an error? Yes, I did. Question 53. What was the error? Unknown spatial reference. That is the error. Because we received an error, it means that there is no spatial, this error, there's no spatial reference for the data that I just added. Based on our rule up above in the directions, what must we do? Hopefully you're thinking define projection and then project, because that's the right answer. I'm going to clear the error by clicking OK, and then try to zoom to the most recently added error, miscellaneous shapes. And it now resides on top of Washington. I'm going to move it down so it's just above Washington. You can see it's there. So it means that miscellaneous shapes in Washington are in a similar coordinate system, even though there is no coordinate system listed for miscellaneous shapes. I've sorted my layers. I've turned on and off to see it. And now I'll clear the projection of the data frame. There's no need to, as you see, but it's good to do just in case, because we always clear after adding data. And click OK. Moving on, add the PhD dataset DBF layer to the map. I drag it to the map. The question is, what layer did you add? And it's PhD dataset. 57, can you see the data in the mapping area? The answer is no. There is no data in this mapping area. And the current coordinate system of the data frame, because there is no spatial reference for PhD dataset, this should not have changed. No coordinate system. So we have now added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapefiles in one DBF to our map. We've cleared the projection several times, and we've noticed that some of the data, several pieces of the data, are not in the same coordinate system, and none of them are in NAD 1983 UTM Zone 10N. When we move on to step 4, we'll start fixing them. For now, I'm going to rezoom to the last layer and save my map as step 3. I'm going to just go to step 2, change it to a 3, and click Save. We have now completed step 3 of the Quiz 3 video lecture.